Hello, folks. Have you ever looked at someone in their late 80s, maybe even their 90s, who is still sharp, still living on their own, and wondered what in the world is their secret? It feels like they won the genetic lottery, doesn't it? But what if I told you that for most of us, the biggest threats to a long, independent life aren't the big, scary diseases we read about? What if the real danger is something much quieter, something that might be happening inside your body right now? It's the reason why some days you feel stiff for no reason, why names seem to vanish from your memory, or why you just feel tired. We dismiss it as just getting old, but it's not. It's a warning sign. As a family doctor who has cared for thousands of patients over 40 years, I can tell you this with certainty. It's rarely one single event that takes away our strength. It's often four hidden health reasons that most people and even many doctors overlook until it's far too late. I'll never forget my patient John at 82. He was a proud man, but he came to me defeated after dropping a bag of groceries he couldn't pick up. He said, "Doc, I feel like I'm fading away." He thought it was the end of the road. But the truth was his body was fighting four silent battles he didn't even know existed. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on these four reasons. I'm here to arm you. For each one, I'm going to give you simple, practical, and often free things you can start doing today to protect your strength, your mind, and your independence. And please make sure you stay with me until the end. The fourth reason is the one people find most surprising. It has nothing to do with diet or exercise, but studies show it can be more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Understanding it could be the most important thing you do for your health this year. Everything we discuss today isn't just my opinion. It's grounded in solid research from respected places like Harvard Medical School and the National Institute on Aging. My job is to translate that science into plain, simple English that makes sense for your life. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of you have faced this. If what I just shared feels familiar, if you've ever had one of those days where you feel like you're fading, please comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and it shows others they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. All right, let's get started. We are going to walk through these four hidden health reasons one by one, and I want you to listen closely, not with fear, but with a sense of empowerment. Knowledge is the first step toward a stronger, healthier future. Reason number one, the silent fire, chronic inflammation. The first reason most people struggle after 80 is what I call the silent fire inside your body. Now, I'm not talking about the hot, sharp pain of a cut or a sprained ankle. That's a healthy, normal fire. That's your body's emergency response team rushing to the scene to fix a problem. The fire I'm talking about is different. It's a low, slow burn, a smoldering ember that many people live with for decades without even knowing it's there, silently wearing down the body from the inside out. Think of your body like a classic car engine that you've cherished for years. This silent inflammation is like having that engine always run just a little too hot. Not hot enough to set off the warning light on the dashboard, but just warm enough that, over many years, the extra heat starts to wear down all the essential parts. The rubber seals begin to crack, the oil breaks down faster, and the metal components slowly warp in your body. This is what's happening to your joints, your blood vessels, your heart, and even your brain. So why does this happen as we get older? Well, when we're young, our body's fire department, our immune system, is fast, efficient, and very precise. It puts out bad fires without damaging the rest of the building. But as we age, that department gets a bit slower, and its aim isn't as good. Sometimes it starts spraying water in the wrong places, causing low-grade chronic damage. Things that didn't bother us before, like a week of poor sleep, a bit too much sugar, or the constant stress of modern life, now act like gasoline on those smoldering embers. They add fuel to the silent fire. This is the real root cause of that morning stiffness that seems to take longer and longer to shake off. It's the reason for that frustrating brain fog that hits in the afternoon, making you walk into a room and forget why you went in there. It's that general nagging feeling of being run down that you can't quite put your finger on. And this isn't just a hunch. Researchers at prestigious institutions like Johns Hopkins have confirmed that this smoldering inflammation is a major driver of almost every age-related disease we worry about. Let me tell you about my patient, George. George was 82, a retired engineer who prided himself on his logical mind and disciplined habits. He ate reasonably well. He didn't smoke, and he walked his dog every single morning, but he came to my office utterly exhausted. He told me, "Doc, I'm just so tired. It's a tiredness in my bones." We ran all the standard tests. His cholesterol was fine, his blood pressure was good, and his basic blood work looked completely normal. Other doctors had told him it was just his age, but I suspected this silent fire. We ran a special test, one that looks for specific inflammatory markers in the system. And there it was. His levels were high, his body was quietly on fire, and it was draining all of his energy. So how do you put out the fire? The wonderful news is that the best tools are often the simplest. The number one fire extinguisher is right on your dinner plate. I tell my patients to eat the rainbow. It's that simple. The more natural color you can get on your plate, the better. The deep reds and berries, the vibrant oranges and sweet potatoes, the rich greens and spinach. These are all packed with natural anti-inflammatories. On the flip side, processed foods, sugary snacks, and unhealthy fats are like throwing fuel on the fire. The second tool, your walking shoes. You don't need to run a marathon. A simple 20-minute walk, especially out in nature if you can, is one of the most powerful free anti-inflammatory medicines on the planet. Here is your first action. It is very simple. Tonight, just add one more color to your dinner plate. That's it. That's your start. If you're ready to start fighting this silent fire, to choose strength over stiffness, then let's declare it together. Comment on the word strong below. It's a promise to yourself. Reason number 2, the strength thief, muscle loss. All right, let's move on to our second hidden reason. This one is a quiet thief that robs millions of older Americans of their most prized possession, their independence. I'm talking about muscle loss. The medical term is sarcopenia, but you can just think of it as the great strength thief. It doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks in gradually, starting with the little things. You might notice it's harder to open that stubborn pickle jar. Or maybe you find yourself needing to use your hands to push yourself up out of your favorite armchair. You might even start avoiding the stairs, telling yourself you're just not in a hurry. These are the first whispers of the strength thief at work. You see, muscle is so much more than just for lifting heavy things. After the age of 80, your muscle is your body's armor. It's what protects your fragile bones if you stumble. It's a critical part of what helps you keep your balance. It acts like a great big sponge for blood sugar, helping to prevent diabetes. And it keeps your metabolism, your body's engine, burning brightly. When that armor starts to thin, everything becomes more dangerous. The core reason this becomes so critical as we age is simple. Our bodies change. After age 60, we naturally start losing a small percentage of our muscle mass every single year. By the time we reach 80, that process can speed up dramatically unless we actively fight back. It is the purest example of the phrase, use it or lose it. The body in its wisdom decides that if you're not using your muscle, it's too costly to maintain, so it lets it go. This is why balance becomes so tricky. It's why a simple trip over a rug, which would have been nothing at 50, can lead to a catastrophic broken hip at 84. It's not a matter of being clumsy. It's a matter of losing your protective armor and your rapid response system. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, reports that falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries among older Americans. And the number one risk factor they identify is not poor eyesight or bad lighting, it's muscle weakness. I think about my patient Frank. Frank was a sharp, cheerful 84-year-old widower, still living in the house he'd built with his own 2 hands. He was fiercely independent. But one afternoon, he tripped on a throw rug on his way to the kitchen and broke his hip. After his surgery, lying in the hospital bed, he looked at me and said something I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, I always thought my legs were steady. I never felt weak." The fall was a brutal wake-up call. It made him realize that the strength thief had been visiting him for years, and he hadn't even noticed. That single fall led to a hospital stay, which led to more muscle loss, which led to a walker, and a slow shrinking of his once active life. But here is the most important part. You can fight the thief, and you can win. You don't need an expensive gym membership. While you're waiting for your coffee to brew in the morning, stand behind a sturdy chair and do 10 simple chair squats. Just lower yourself slowly and stand back up. When you're watching the evening news, keep a couple of soup cans by your chair and do some simple arm curls. And please make sure you get some protein, especially with breakfast. Things like eggs, Greek yogurt, or even a simple protein shake. Protein provides the building blocks your body needs to repair and build muscle. So, please stop thinking you need to become a bodybuilder. That's not the goal. Start thinking about being strong enough to stay in your own home, strong enough to carry your own groceries, strong enough to play with your grandkids. This one is so important. If you're committing to staying steady on your feet, to keeping your armor strong, please comment the word steady below. Reason number 3, the brain drain, poor sleep. Let's talk about the third hidden reason, which is something we all do, but very few of us do well enough after the age of 80. I'm talking about sleep. For so many of my older patients, there's a resignation about it. They think waking up 3 or 4 times a night is just a normal part of getting older. And while it is certainly common, I am here to tell you that it is absolutely not harmless. In fact, it can be a primary cause of what I call the brain drain. Here's the best way to understand it. Think of your brain like a bustling city. During the day, with all the thinking, feeling, and activity, the city produces a lot of metabolic trash. It's a natural byproduct of being busy. Now, deep sleep, the kind of restorative sleep we get less of as we age, is when the city's nightly cleaning crew comes out. This incredible system, known as the glymphatic system, literally washes your brain. It flushes out all the toxic trash and waste products that have built up during the day. If that cleaning crew can't do its job properly because your sleep is too light or constantly interrupted, that trash starts to pile up on the city streets. The core reason this is so vital for seniors is that our bodies naturally produce less of the hormones like melatonin that promote deep restorative sleep. Our sleep architecture, as it's called, becomes lighter and more fragmented. This means the cleaning crew has less time and fewer opportunities to do its critical work. And that buildup of trash is the direct cause of so many symptoms we blame on age. It's why you feel foggy and slow in the morning. It's why your memory feels so unreliable, why you can't find the right word. It's even why you might feel more irritable or emotionally fragile. Your brain isn't failing you. It's just clogged. And the scientific evidence for this is now overwhelming. Groundbreaking research has shown a powerful and direct link between years of poor sleep and the risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Why? Because one of the specific proteins that this brainwashing process clears out is beta amyloid, the very plaque that is the hallmark of Alzheimer's. I had a patient, Alice, who was 86 years old. She came to see me with her daughter, and both of them were convinced her memory was failing badly. Alice was terrified. She was waking up 4, sometimes 5 times a night, and just figured that was her life now. We didn't jump to memory pills. Instead, we focused entirely on what I call sleep hygiene. We set a strict, consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. I had her stop watching the stressful evening news right before bed. Most importantly, I gave her a mission for 10 minutes every single morning. Within the first hour of waking, she had to go outside and let the natural sunlight hit her eyes. No sunglasses. That morning light is the most powerful signal to reset your body's internal clock for better sleep at night. Within a month, the change was remarkable. She was sleeping for longer stretches. Her mind felt clearer and her energy returned. She wasn't losing her mind. She was just losing sleep. So, here is your mission. For the next 3 days, I want you to try Alice's morning routine. Go outside for 10 minutes within the first hour of waking. Let that light into your eyes. It is a powerful, free, and scientifically proven way to start improving your sleep tonight. Let's stop accepting bad sleep as an inevitable part of aging. It's not. Let's start protecting our brains. Let's make a pact to get better rest. If you're with me on this, if you're ready to let the cleaning crew do its job, comment the word restore below. Reason number 4, the unseen wound, loneliness, and loss of purpose. And now for the 4th and final reason. In my 40 years of practice, this is the one that I've seen do the most silent and yet the most profound damage. It isn't a virus. It isn't a disease. It's a feeling. It's the feeling of being invisible, the feeling of being unneeded. It is the unseen wound of loneliness. And it doesn't just break your heart emotionally. It physically breaks down your body. Humans are social creatures. We are biologically wired for connection, for community, for purpose. When we feel socially isolated or believe we no longer matter to anyone, our bodies interpret that as a dire threat to our survival. It triggers the same primitive fight-or-flight stress response as if we were being chased by a predator. This response floods our system with stress hormones like cortisol, which over time weakens our immune system, raises our blood pressure, and contributes directly to that silent fire of inflammation we talked about earlier. Loneliness isn't just a feeling of sadness. It's a chronic physical state of emergency. The core reason this becomes an epidemic among those over 80 is that their world can begin to shrink, often through no fault of their own. Friends move away or pass on. Children and grandchildren are busy with their own demanding lives. Physical limitations can make it harder to drive, to socialize, to get out of the house. And just as importantly, we lose the roles that defined us for so long. We are no longer an employee, a boss, a caregiver for our own parents, or the president of the neighborhood association. This leads to a loss of daily purpose. That quiet internal answer to the question, why should I get up today, can start to fade. This is why some people seem to give up. They lose the will to eat right, to move their bodies, or to engage with life. The body simply follows where the heart and mind lead. This is not a soft science. The U.S. Surgeon General has officially declared loneliness a public health epidemic, stating that its impact on your mortality, your risk of dying, is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that. Being chronically lonely is as dangerous to your health as a heavy smoking habit. I think of my patient Bill. Bill was 88 when his wife of 60 years passed away. His children lived in other states and called weekly, but his days were long and empty. He kept the house tidy. He made his meals. But he told me, "Doc, the silence in this house is deafening, but the worst part isn't being alone. It's feeling unneeded." His purpose, which had been so tied to caring for his wife, was gone. The change we made was small, but it was everything. We found a local elementary school that needed volunteers to read to first graders. Bill started going twice a week. Suddenly, he had a reason to get up, to shave, to put on a nice shirt. He had a place where he was expected, a place where smiling 6-year-old faces would light up when he walked in the door. He was needed again. It was better than any pill I could have prescribed. Your purpose does not have to be grand. It can be watering your plants. It can be making one phone call a day to check on a friend who is also alone. It can be caring for a pet. Your task is to find one small thing you can do for someone or something else each day. So ask yourself this question tonight before you go to sleep. Who needs me tomorrow, even in the smallest way? The answer to that question, that is medicine. This is the heart of it all. If you believe that connection is medicine, please comment the word connect below. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to think back to the beginning. Do you remember John? The proud 82-year-old gentleman who came to my office feeling defeated because he couldn't even pick up his own bag of groceries. He felt like he was fading away. Well, we didn't resort to a dozen new prescriptions. We started working simply and patiently on these 4 foundational things we've just discussed. We started putting out that silent fire with more colorful foods on his plate. We started fighting the strength thief with a little more protein for his muscles and some simple movements each day. We worked on his sleep, making sure his brain's cleaning crew had a chance to do its job. And most importantly, we found him a purpose. We got him to join a local walking club that met 3 times a week. Today, John is 85 years old. He's back to carrying his own groceries with ease. And 2 days a week, he volunteers at the local food bank, helping other people carry theirs. He didn't just get his strength back, he got his life back. The lesson here is so simple, and it's the one thing I hope you carry with you from our conversation today. Aging isn't about fading away. It's about focusing. It's about understanding what your body truly needs. Now, by taking care of these 4 simple foundational pillars, you are not just adding years to your life. You are adding life to your years. And now, as we wrap up, I have one important question for you. It's the most important one of the day. Knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So, what is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will take a walk tomorrow, or I will call a friend, or I will eat a green vegetable with dinner. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Make that promise public. When you write it down, it becomes real. It holds you accountable, and it might just inspire someone else who is reading the comments to take their own first step. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together today, show your support by giving this video a like. It truly helps more people find this important message. To ensure you continue on this journey with us and never miss another conversation full of life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community of friends here, all dedicated to living our best lives together. Finally, think of one person who needs to hear this message today. Just one person, and please share it with them. You might just change their life. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video.